Hey buds, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope you're doing well. I'm gonna key you guys in on some fragrances today that you need to know about. Fragrances that your average person out there that's trawling around the shelves at Sephora or Kohl's or Macy's or wherever, they probably don't know about these. And by probably don't know about these, I mean very most likely they don't. But at the end of today's video, you will. And each one of these that I speak to you about is gonna be linked in the description below. I got a great range of different scents, some that are better for summer, some that are better for fall and winter. And I'm also gonna be hooking up one of you guys with a fragrance as well. Gotta spread the love a little bit. So this is in no particular order. Let's get it kicked off with a fragrance that, frankly, when I first tried it, I wasn't overly keen on, but it has grown on me, thankfully. And the fragrance is Joop, Eau de Parfum. Yeah, good old Joop, which is a bit of a dirty word for me. The original Joop, you know, the pink massacre, the cough syrup conundrum. Comes in the same bottle style and everything, the Eau de Toilette. I mean, it's a classic fragrance, okay? I mean, I'm not gonna argue that. It's got its place in fragrance history for sure, and a lot of people over the years have worn the original Joop Homme and love the original Joop Homme, but yeah, it doesn't bring the rosiest thoughts into my brain. And I've tried in the past. I've revisited that fragrance, I feel like every year for the past 20, maybe not realistically 20, a lot though. I just can't do it, man. I just cannot do the Joop Homme. And it smells similar, the original one, to like Individual or Original Santal from Creed, but just worse. So what's the deal with this one? Well, for the longest time in the US, I couldn't really find it. Like, it was out there, but it wasn't easy to pick up. I mean, it came out all the way back in 2021, but it just never seemed to really pop up at discounters, and I wasn't really keen on spending a whole bunch of money to pick it up on eBay and, you know, overpay. So I waited for years, and I got it in a few months back, and I've been giving it some wear, you know, here and there. And like I said, initially, I thought it kind of sucked. It does have this like Joop Homme Eau de Toilette feeling kind of in the background. It has heliotrope in here, and that's really what's gonna kind of tie it in just a little bit with that original fragrance, which I so despise. But thankfully, there's more going on here, and it's more of like a warm, sweet, spicy take on that original Joop Homme style. So much so that it kind of covers up most of that original style. So note-wise, there's cinnamon in here, there's hazelnut, there's honey, there's the heliotrope that I mentioned before. There's also orange blossom, tonka, sandalwood, and vanilla. So you got a lot of sweet notes in here, but instead of coming across like cough syrup infused napalm, it comes across warm, sweet, cozy, and a pretty solid compliment puller as well, as long as it's a little bit cool outside. Oh, and to top it off, great performance, which is not really a big surprise, I guess, but yeah, great longevity, big time projection, so a little bit goes a long way. The opening, like the first 5 minutes, can still be a little bit of a pop, but once that starts to settle in, real nice. And in the US, and I would imagine also Canada, not too many people are really wearing Joop, or at least not Joop Homme Eau de Parfum. Also, since we're talking North America, and you know the US and Canada, can't leave out Mexico. Shout out to all you guys down there in Mexico, and also everybody in the Caribbean. I don't know, who am I missing in North America? I guess I could start going Central America too, but man, this video started taking a long time. I'm gonna start listing off every single country. Shout out to all you guys, all the countries. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing here. It's like I just walked in this room and there were some fragrances and I was like, well, I guess I'll talk about them. I don't know. Well, let's go next with something completely different. This is Mugler cologne, but it's not just the regular Mugler cologne, which is now known as Come Together. This one and the little, what's that? I guess kind of like yellow-orange bottle is called Fly Away. But frankly, just the regular old cologne, the green one, which is, like I just said, Come Together, that one also nowadays kind of flies under the radar. Way more than you would expect, because at one point in time, that fragrance was pretty big, all things considered. But nowadays, Mugler cologne is not what it used to be. And that one is great. Spring and summertime, really clean, classy, ultra easy to wear. Could remind you a little bit of stuff like Naroli Portofino to an extent, kind of like in that vibe a little bit, kind of soapy, clean. This one right here though, this is for lovers of citrus. You gotta like citrus. Note breakdown wise, they keep it super ultra crazy simple. Grapefruit and cannabis. So yeah, there is that. It's kind of a rindy citrus, so you have to enjoy that aspect of citrus fragrances. If you do, you'll probably think it's absolutely fantastic. If you hate that, I wouldn't do it, okay? I would not blind buy this if that's the case. So think back to fragrances like Light Blue Forever, Light Blue Italian Love, stuff like that. Technically, they came out after this one, but that style of citrus, if you hate that, don't even mess with this. If you like that, maybe you want to check this out. So that cannabis note gives it more of like a green, almost kind of tangy vibe, very bright. The way that it opens up, it's very zingy. It's a little sour, but then also slightly sweet as well, really fresh. Just absolutely adore this stuff. I think it's fantastic. Flies way, 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 way under the radar, and also not too expensive. And there are a number of other Mugler cologne flankers as well. They all popped out at the same time, kind of like a rainbow of Mugler colognes, but they just did not really take off in a huge way. So you may want to also check out some of the other ones and see if any of those are to your liking. This next one is a biased choice, and that is because it is a fragrance that I creatively directed. It is called West Loop. So this was released underneath the Michael Malul brand. It says on the front there, Michael Malul X Gents Scents. And this one was released at the same time as Edgewater, which is the green bottle that you see over here. And I'll be doing a giveaway in today's video of one of my fragrances. Your choice, doesn't matter which one. We'll get to that later though. For now, let's talk West Loop. Now, as far as the fragrances that I creatively directed, this is actually one of the best sellers, one of the most popular ones. Oh, and also I will say that if you want it in this style, this presentation style, you may want to scoop it up sooner than later. Not that the fragrance itself is necessarily going away, but just saying, just kind of throwing that out there, that if you like this presentation style, yeah, just saying. But even though this is one of the best sellers of the fragrances that I creatively directed, still it is way under the radar compared to stuff from the big dogs. Now, in terms of stores, you can pick this up in every Perfumania and fragrance outlet store in the US. So if you have one of those nearby, and there are hundreds of those stores, you can stop in and check this one out and those as well. But like you can't find it at Macy's or Sephora or anything like that. In terms of notes, this one has off the top almond blossom, vanilla orchid, and toasted cinnamon. As it dries down, French lavender, tobacco leaf, myrrh, patchouli, amberwoods, and tonka. So that kind of gives you a rundown of the notes. Also pressurized atomizer, but no magnetic cap. That's good for only half a point. So this one works fantastically for both men and women. A huge compliment puller with a really nice sweetness to it. And then this smooth kind of like fuzzy floral undertone, which melds together with some of those warmer notes, the myrrh, the toasted cinnamon, the tobacco. To me, it's a pretty unique scent profile that doesn't really smell super similar to any other designer fragrance out there, but it still is clearly a designer fragrance in the sense that it's made to be worn, that it's made to get compliments, and it has pretty good versatility as well. For me, more of a fall, winter, springtime fragrance, not like middle of summer, but one that I really enjoyed the process of making. And as I said, as far as like sales goes, it's this one and then South Slope are the two best sellers. Let's talk about this Cavalli Uomo Parfum from Roberto Cavalli, which is a fragrance that essentially came out and absolutely nobody really talked about it much. I mean, maybe like a smattering of people here and there, but it did not get met with like a whole bunch of coverage, I guess we'll say, with its release. And honestly, it's like the brand also was kind of just like, whatever, I'm gonna put it out there, because it has this kind of nondescript, like square bottle style, and then this little cap on top. Not that it's an ugly presentation or anything like that, because it's not. It just looks, a little nondescript other than the cap. So this one has a really, really pleasant sweetness, like this warm sweetness to it. Saffron note that's quite noticeable when you first spray the fragrance on. A little bit of woodiness as it dries down. Another strange thing about this one is it came out with the name Cavalli Uomo, and there already is / was a Cavalli Uomo line of fragrances, which had some absolutely banging scents. Deep Desire, fantastic. La Notte, really, really good. The gold edition, that stuff was solid as well. Silver Essence, really, really good. So you had all these different Cavalli Uomo fragrances that by and large, people who knew about them knew how good they were, but your average person just didn't. And they all got discontinued essentially. And Cavalli was like, well, let's do this, but we're gonna change the bottle style, leave the name the same, and the fragrance is as good as those ones that came out before that are discontinued. And it's like history repeating. Nobody really knows about it. Nobody knows how good this stuff is. It's got kind of a classiness to it, but also a sexy vibe as well. Good evening fragrance, good date night fragrance. Also would be good during the daytime, as long as it's a little bit cool outside. It's got this really pleasant, like I said, warm, kind of spicy sweetness, almost like a little warm cinnamon in there as well, even though I don't think that's officially a note. Just absolutely love it. Really under the radar, and you can find this pretty cheap. Or at least when I bought it, it was next to nothing on JOMASHOP. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame that it's not more well known. It's not a shame that the fragrance smells good. That would make no sense. Now, before we head to the next fragrance, guys, an update. I have some new codes for you for Gift Express, and then of course, coupon codes for JOMASHOP, which only work within the app. They change every quarter, so be aware of that. And then we got the perfume box, Fragflex, Max Aroma, lots more. So honestly, through all these websites, you can find some insane deals if you search through each site. You can use those codes to save a little extra money. Let's go next with a fragrance that is a newer release, a clone fragrance, but one that was released maybe a little bit late. It is Monarch from Armaf, part of their Lions Club set. And this one is an alternative to Altair from Parfums de Marly. Now, as I said, the issue is it's a little bit late to the game because Liquid Brune came out a while ago, and that one is very, very, very good. Lattafa has come out with, honestly, everybody's come out with one at this point. So with them releasing this one here recently, it has, to an extent, flown under the radar a little bit. Also has a very interesting bottle design with this like leather strap that goes around the middle of the bottle, right where the atomizer is, and has like a little magnetic button that you kind of try to fit into the spot. There it goes. Which it looks cool, you know, it's different. I'll give them credit for that for sure. It is an unholy fingerprint magnet. I don't know if you can see that from right here, but look at this. You hold it and then it's like, oh, great. It's that type of bottle that looks really good until anything touches it. And then at that point, you're just like wiping everything off again to try to make it look decent again. And sometimes it is a little bit kind of annoying where that happens, where you're trying to spray. Yeah, I guess that's part of it when they're trying to do something different, right? Back to the stuff that matters, which is not that. That's the correct way to say that, right? It's good. It's pretty good, guys. Actually, the entire Lions Club set from Armaf, which as of this video is 3 fragrances. This one, Rougier and Feroce, are all really solid. Rougier is Leighton and Feroce is Halton, which you really can tell just by the color scheme of the bottles. They kind of decked out each bottle with like the appropriate color scheme, but all 3 of them are really good. I think if I had to rank them, I would put Feroce in 3rd. Not that it's bad, but honestly, out of the 3 fragrances that are being cloned, Halton is my least favorite of those 3, which is really the only reason. Not that I dislike Halton, just out of those 3. And then 2nd, I kind of actually just put Rougier and Monarch together. I think they're both really, really, really good. So like Altair, it's gonna be very warm, very sweet, and gourmand. And it can hang just as well with those other, maybe more popular alternatives to Altair. It's just as good. I wanna go cheap next, so we're going with this. First Instinct Extreme from Abercrombie and Fitch. Nowadays, Abercrombie and Fitch doesn't really have a fragrance line, I feel like anyway, that people are really looking forward to. They have the Authentic Man line of fragrances, and those are okay, especially for the price. Some of them are pretty good buys. And then they also have the Away fragrances, which those are okay. I think for me personally, I'd probably put the Authentic fragrances above the Away ones, but they don't really have anything right now that's like grabbing people's attention. Now, there's always gonna be Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce, of course, but for a small moment in time, there was First Instinct. And with these fragrances, for the price point that you could pick them up for, people were really into them for a second there. Nowadays, they are under the radar, but you can still find this one for a cheap price, which is pretty nice. So in terms of the notes, it has a fairly unique note breakdown. There's musk in there, there's coconut milk, amber, cardamom, saffron, violet leaf, star fruit, and pepper. So yeah, kind of a weird note breakdown. You've got a lot of different things going on. You've got some tropical sweet notes, some spicy notes, and then like this underlying violet musk combination that gives you this clean, also slightly green and sweet aspect. And actually the performance is pretty good. It sticks around for a long while, projects well, and even to this day, like I said, pretty affordable. So when you add that all together, it's actually a really great pickup for a lot of people because you get something that you can wear very easily during spring, summer, and fall, daytime or evening. Has nice sweetness, which imparts good complement factor along with that freshness. Doesn't cost very much money, and not many people wearing it nowadays. You can also check out the other First Instinct fragrances because there are a few other ones that kind of approach things in a different manner. Maybe they would be more to your liking, but pretty much all of them are pretty cheap. La Nuit up next, but not the Eau de Toilette, no, the Le Parfum. And to be fair, La Nuit de l'Homme Le Parfum has been one of those semi under the radar fragrances for years and years now. Because this one dropped in 2010, so 15 years ago as of this video, and it was never like massive, but it was one of those releases that a lot of people really enjoyed. And so it's never been able to fully die because there's always somebody who's like, oh, hey guys, remember this one? It's really good. And then more people get turned on to it. And it kind of carries on like that. Note breakdown wise, this one has a really pleasant, fresh, fruity sweetness when you first spray the scent on. Also has pepper in there, lavender, vanilla, patchouli, and vetiver. It is not super similar to the original La Nuit de l'Homme. It's kind of doing its own thing. I mean, maybe, you know, like little bits and pieces from the OG find its way over into here, but definitely it's not just taking the original La Nuit and making it stronger. Like that's not really the case. This has its own scent profile. Also has good longevity as well. Sticks around for a while. Projection more moderate, but better than the original La Nuit. It's just one of those fragrances that smells fantastic in the air. Really, really good for fall, winter, and spring, especially during the evening. And even though it's from a very well-known fragrance brand and fragrance line, that scent itself, a little under the radar. Let's go from the blacked out bottle to the whited out bottle, Nitro White from Dumont. So when it comes to Dumont, it's pretty much Nitro Red. That's what everybody talks about, that is the most popular in the lineup, but Nitro White is also very, very good for a low price. It is creamy and sweet. It's got honey in there along with vanilla. You also have amber, myrrh, iris, juniper, cypress, patchouli, and musk. Like Nitro Red, it sticks around. It's got really nice projection, great longevity, so it's a very long-lasting, powerful fragrance. It is very sweet, so you have to enjoy sweet fragrances to like this one, especially with it being as strong as it is. I really enjoy it because of the kind of mix of iris with those sweeter notes, but I am kind of a sucker for iris in pretty much any way, shape, or form, so take that with a grain of salt, unless you also love iris, and then welcome aboard. Let's switch it up and go next with Van Cleef & Arpels Naroli Amara with a tiny little dingle dangle dangly. I don't even like that thing, actually. A missed opportunity here for a magnetic cap. You got a presentation this svelte and modern looking. Make that cap magnetic. Ooh, I like it. This is once again for the lovers of citrus out there, because there is a lot of citrus in here along with that neroli. So in terms of the citrus notes, you have in here bergamot, mandarin orange, and lemon. You've got some nice fresh spices, pink pepper, black pepper, orange blossom, pear, musk, and cypress as well. Extremely clean, very classy. It has like a touch of soapiness, but not too much. You know, it doesn't go overly powdery, which sometimes can happen with neroli-based fragrances. You have like a smidge of that in there, but not overdone. It's got a nice zing to it, a nice brightness. The quality quite good, which is very important with citrus, because if you don't have good quality citrus, it can come across smelling like a household cleaner or something like that. Just the right amount of sweetness. Definitely unisex. Ladies can wear this, guys can wear this. Longevity, pretty good actually for this type of scent, above average I would say, but the projection a little bit more moderate. Still, for this type of fragrance, absolutely lovely. And we're gonna finish with Vintage Green from Banana Republic. Banana, it was Minions. Banana.
Banana. Stuart? Banana. Banana!
And this is another like tale of a fragrance. Don't do that. Fragrances gone by. I realized that was the stupidest way to do that because this cap is kind of heavy. You heard that ding. I made a pretty good ding, man. Feel like you just about bust that old dang old bottle, man. When Banana Republic launched this line, the icon line of fragrances that came in this bottle style, people were blown away. The quality versus price was nuts. And 78 Vintage Green, one of the best of that initial lineup. And so there was a lot of hype around them for a small frame of time there. They kept releasing more fragrances in that bottle style. Tobacco and Tonka Bean. They had Grassland, Metal Rain. I feel like that's kind of where the cutoff happened actually. After those two, you know, ending with Grassland and Metal Rain, it just kind of went boop, and nobody cared anymore. It's what it felt like. But thankfully, you can still find these earlier releases online for a good price. 78 Vintage Green has obviously green notes in there, fig as well. It's got green tea, some citrus, musk, vetiver, cedar. It is a semi-sweet green tea fig combo at the end of the day with a really pleasant citrus off the top. Very good for spring, especially summer as well. I'd say it will probably appeal a little bit more to guys probably like mid-20s and older, but it's one of those ones where the quality versus the price is absolutely killer. So there we go, guys. 10 fragrances that I think in their own way, perfectly done, other than the obvious biased one, which brings up the giveaway. So I have 5 fragrances as of right now. Terra Nova, Jet Black Enigma, West Loop, Edgewater, South Slope. If you're looking for one more fall winter, I would say Jet Black Enigma and West Loop, kind of. West Loop is kind of just whenever you want it, honestly. Terra Nova, spring, fall, maybe summer and winter as well, but spring, fall mainly. Edgewater, more spring. South Slope, it's like a blue fragrance, so whenever you want. But you can pick any of these, not these right here. It'll come like in a box sealed, you know. Just grab that and throw it to you. But yeah, pick one of these 5 if you're the winner. If you want to be entered in the giveaway, all you have to do is like the video, leave a comment below. And actually in the comment, just tell me which of the 5 you would want. That makes it super easy. Give me some time and I will batch the winner with like 4 or 5 other winners of recent giveaways that I've done. I'll put it up on the post tab of the YouTube channel. And if you're the winner, just hit me up and I will have it sent out to you, wherever you may find yourself. And holy heck, guys. Some of the recent winners to send like one fragrance, like $70 shipping. And I'm just like, is this right? This is how much it costs now. Okay, but you know, it is what it is. There we go, guys. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. Good luck with the giveaway. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.